Well, hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Let's take a look. Let's get the old camera, the old thing going here. Give me a sec. All right, we are live. All righty, all righty. Thank you all for coming here. I really appreciate it. Um, so how's your day going? Um, oh, Joe the lawyer, excellent. Uh, I see you're going to be talking about Battlestar Galactica. I've been posting a lot about that, about the old show on my Starbase Nerdtron channel. So, Chris, great to see you. John, uh, everybody, thank you so much. Alrighty. So I do have a bit of an announcement to make. I've been working on something for a while now, and the time has come, and I thought it was especially auspicious given that today is Gary Gygax's Day, in honor of Gary's birthday, that today should be the day to make the announcement. Before I go on, I just want to say that the impetus for this upcoming project that I'm talking about is based on two things. First is that first edition AD&D was and is a terrific game system, very flexible, um, and really deserves a wider audience, even in today's modern uh, game, sphere. As a lot of people are really invested in basic, with the success of Labyrinth Lord and Swords and Wizardry and all those guys. But I think that first edition has its place. I think it really is underserved in the community these days, and I think it deserves to have a bigger slice of the pie. And the other pillar upon which this project is based is the fact that you cannot copyright game rules and mechanics. You can only copyright the expression thereof. So, my big announcement. Let me share a screen here. There we go. Is what I call the Adventure Engine, and this is intended to be a an open source uh, uh, with an open license universal game system. And what I mean by that is that it's going to have the core of first edition, which is being used in my game Adventures Dark and Deep and in Osric and a couple other places. But it's going to be specifically designed so that other designers can come in and apply the system with any genre they want, and then others will be able to come along and build on their work with adventures and so forth, and have the structure of a an open license under which they can produce all this material. So you could have, for example, a a post-apocalyptic game with which would have races and classes and levels and hit points and saving throws. um you know we had Gamma World and we had Metamorphosis Alpha, but they were their own system. They didn't have levels and classes and so forth. So this will be first edition with for use with any genre. So you could have a 1E gangster game, you could have a 1E uh, old west game, you could have a 1E uh, space opera, or historical game, or anything. And the beauty of this is because they're all going to be speaking the same language, they're all going to have this common DNA that you can mix and match. So remember in the old DM's guide, we had the those two sections on how to mix in Boot Hill and Gamma World into your AD&D thing, and they had all these conversions because the systems don't mesh. You wouldn't need that because it would be all together. So, for example, if you wanted to have a Weird West game, you could take a horror adventure engine game and an Old West adventure engine game and smoosh them together and come up with with a Weird West game. So that's the big announcement coming in 2026. The adventure engine is going to be released under a license, which it is hoped will allow creators to build on the very central core of 1E and use it in a variety of genres, and then produce new supplements and adventures and rule sets and all that other good stuff. And it'll all share that same DNA and all be relatively interchangeable. So that's my big announcement. Let me take a look um, at the comments here. Let me scroll up just a bit. Everybody loves 1E, which is great. Um, Okay, so we've got Joe, like an Osric for my game system. Well, Osric is based on 1E itself, so this is actually uh, kind of even a subset of Osric itself, because Osric is 1E for fantasy. Adventures Dark and Deep is 1E for fantasy, but the adventure engine would be the thing that underlies uh, Adventures Dark and Deep. So the very core of Adventures Dark and Deep that you could use for science fiction and westerns and whatever. Um, uh, Zatran, it's going to be similar to Osric in the sense that it uses classes and races and saving throws and levels and hit points. But it's going to differ from Osric because it's not going to be specifically for fantasy. It's going to be able to be used with any genre, and that is the entire point. You're going to be able to use this to make a space opera based on 1E or a World War II game based on 1E, and if you want to mix and match them, you'll be able to because they all share the same DNA. Um, let's see. So the K5K, will there be a Kickstarter or backer kit or something? I don't know yet. It depends on a number of factors. Right now, the very core book that I'm working on itself isn't going to be all that huge because it's not going to have a lot of genre specific stuff in it. It's just going to be that core. This is how classes work. This is how levels work. This is how combat works. It's not going to have a zillion spell descriptions because it's not just going to be for fantasy. It's not going to have a bunch of equipment in there because it's not going to be just for sci-fi. So it all depends on what the final format of the that four engine book is. But I can tell you that in conjunction with this will also be the release of Adventures Dark and Deep Light, which will be the first of the adventure engine games out there. So that'll be a fantasy one, but that doesn't preclude somebody else from taking their own take on fantasy. Using the engine. So the whole idea of this is I want there to be a large ecosystem of people writing for this and designing for it. And just feeding off of each other's work and building off of each other's work, so that there's a renaissance of 1E, and carrying it out into all genres. That's the real goal here. Um, Now let's see what else we got here. John Edgar. Yes, 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 agreed. So this is going to be a toolkit to create games. Yes, exactly. It's just going to be this very small core of rules that other people are going to be able to add on to, thanks to a license which is currently being developed. The idea is when you publish using the license, you're going to be encouraged, but not required, to put in wording that will allow other people to build on your work. So if you put out, say, a Wild West game based on the Adventure engine, you're going to be encouraged to include a line that says other people can do so as well. Publishing under the license. So am I planning to release games for some other genres in the future? Ideally, I'd like to see other people releasing games for other genres, but yes, I will. Assuming genres remain undeveloped, I will be stretching my legs into other places like the Old West. I might even take the Swords of Cthulhu book and turn that into a full-blown RPG under the Adventure engine, or I might even go with my Project Oasis and do a post-apocalyptic game, based on the engine too. Um, so where do you send the check? Ha! You first of all, you wait until at least January, and then that's when this will be hitting the road. Is going to be sometime in hopefully early 2026. If you go to uh, add, let me. I'm typing as I do this engine.com. If you go to adventureengine.com, you will see in there a place to sign up to get onto the newsletter so that you can get direct updates about what's going on. If you want to get notified when there's a new Kickstarter or whatever, or if you want to keep, you want to get notified, or if you're interested in maybe doing something yourself under the engine and the associated license, that has a way to get in touch, and that'll will get you on the list, and you'll be the first to know of developments. Um, well, you absolutely can, and I will be Zatron, and I will be ready to catch. uh, Throw it really hard, and, and I will catch the money. Um, hey, that's the big announce. There's going to be something coming down the pike for 1E fans to take that basic core engine of 1E, with probably have the skill system from Adventures Dark and Deep in there as an option as well. But I'm going to try to keep it as minimalist as possible to allow people to develop it into new genres, because I just think that 1E, because of its modularity, and it's when you strip away a lot of the extraneous stuff that are specific to fantasy, that core and that you're left with is so versatile and so wonderful to play, that I think it will do very well in other genres, and this is my way of encouraging that to happen. So, any other questions while we're still online here? I'll give folks a minute to come up with anything, but I'll have more of these as the engine itself and um, as the license gets closer to completion. I'll do some more of these Q&As, and we can dive into some more details. But for right now, everything is still, pretty early in the process in terms of the creation of it. Um, you could mix, yes, exactly, John Edgar. That is exactly what I want to want to see happen. I want to be able to take an adventure engine horror game and an adventure engine Wild West game and smoosh them together for a Weird West. I want to be able to do that for all kinds of genres. You could have magic in space. You could have all kinds of things. This is what I want to see happen. I want to see all these genres blossoming up using the core mechanics for 1E, and then let a thousand flowers bloom. That's the concept. So anyway, I don't want to tarry too long. Like I say, this is still in development, in a relatively early stage, but I wanted to get it out there, and I thought doing it on Gary's birthday would be the most appropriate way to get the word out there. So do head over to adventureengine.com. Remember, there's two D's, for reasons which will become apparent if you think about it, and you know very, very specific, wonky rules question. Okay, before we go, in AC, nothing had an AC better of 10, right? Okay, so nothing in the game had an AC better. We have not gotten nearly that far to answer that question. Uh, when we start thinking about how to stretch it into other things, like sci-fi things might very well have armor classes that would be better than -10. Or we might decide to have a dual, because a lot of people like that ascending armor class. So, we might have a dual armor class system that can just keep going. That's a design decision that we'll probably get to in the next couple of months, once this initial design phase is complete. So, um, but yes, I will. That is definitely something that will be on the yeah, superheroes, exactly. Superheroes is another great example of a genre that would work really, really well with a 1E thing. As you go up in levels, you get more powerful, that kind of thing. So yeah, absolutely. This is This is gonna be great for superheroes, gonna be great for horror, historical, western, sci-fi, you name it. I think the 1E engine can really do it justice. So, with that, I'm going to, bid you all good night. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'm glad to see there's a lot of enthusiasm out there for the idea. And, hey, sign up for the, newsletter, and I will talk to you all later about this. I'll keep you, all in the loop. I'm really excited about this, and I'm glad to see that, you folks are too. Thanks all, and stay safe from Pinkertons.